Here we go. Oh, man, oh, man. Are we ready?
Blue 58, go! Green 18, Green 19, touch!
This is the Green and Gold postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
How you doing? To those of you watching that and those of you listening, I don't even know what to say. That's an ass kicking. You can sugarcoat this any way you want. You can talk about, well, the offensive line, well, David Bakhtiari, well, it's the first game under Joe Barry. Well, it's all crap. It's all crap. How you doing today? Today sucked. If you're a Brewers fan, you're loving life. Brewers continue to win, and kudos to the Milwaukee Brewers. But we are broadcasting live down here at MKE Brewing. We are in downtown Milwaukee. And let me show you this. For those watching on the Bud Light live stream and over on YouTube and on Facebook and such, take a look at this. Look at that. Look at this. I am in a brewery. Show those people off in the distance. I'm in a brewery by myself. By myself. That was an ass kicking. That was pathetic. That was a disaster of epic proportion. Matt LaFleur, the strategy not to play guys last year certainly paid off. The strategy not to play guys this year, they look slow. Za'Darius looked like he had not played. He had a legitimate reason, but the depth on the offensive line, we talked about that. I feel really good. I feel great about the defensive line and the up front guys, the middle linebacking. It all sucked. Give me an S. Give me a U. Give me an oct. Because that's what it sucked. It was terrible. Terrible today. 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. Let me give you a number here real quick. The Packers today. The Packers today on third down. Defensively, they were 5 of 10, 50%, and that sucks. Their offense, 1 of 10, and that sucks. Aaron Rodgers you don't ever see him make a bad throw or a quick toss or that little pitch pass in traffic, especially in the red zone, to watch it go for an interception. You don't ever see that. This was the great big hand of the football gods slapping you across the face and saying, wake up. The only thing I can tell you is, there's not much to take away from this game. Everything stunk. The only thing I can tell you is that I want to see how this team responds next week. I'm not throwing in a towel. I'm not packing it in. I'm not jumping off the top of the bridge. But I want to see how this team responds next week. That was a crap show. It was an absolute crap show. It was bad. It was embarrassing. Tony says, well, Bill, you said all offseason they need Rodgers to win. They should have traded him. No, you know what? You don't pound your chest after one game. You don't do that. You don't do that, Tony. In the same way I'm not sitting here saying, oh, my God, the season's over. Okay? We've seen this happen before. They looked terrible in 2010. They won a Super Bowl. So I'm not doing that. Okay. We've seen, you know what? Every year for the last 3 or 4 years, I have said Tom Brady started out bad. He looked horrible, was awful. This year it looked really good. But I've said, well, Father Time's clearly caught up to him. Oh my goodness. They just don't look good. He's over the hill. And then Tom Brady comes back and makes you eat his words. Now, I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is Tom Brady, but Aaron Rodgers is a hell of a quarterback. He will use this as embarrassment fodder to get better. I don't know, this whole whining thing and everything, and the sit down that he did with Aaron Andrews prior to the game when we saw that. If you were watching Fox this morning, by the way, the man bun got to go. It's awful. Looks like an idiot. It can fly on some other dudes, not on him. He looks like an idiot. I was sitting here today, and then that interview came up, and somebody said, "Oh my God, who's that old man?" And it was Aaron Rodgers. And the girls were laughing, saying, "Oh, look at him trying to act young." I don't know what the hell is going on with the guy, but he looked bad. Today is the day that you wake up. The numbers for Aaron Rodgers. Let me tell you this: 15 of 28, 133 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks, and a quarterback rating of 36.8. Jameis Winston, the guy that did not, apparently his eyesight got fixed, and now he's like Wild Thing in the movie Major League because he was lights out. 14 of 20, 148 yards, 5 touchdowns, not a pick to his name, quarterback rating of 130.8. How about that? Bless the Martyr says Aaron Rodgers did not just play bad. He played, I don't want to be here kind of bad. There's a difference. He looked, I don't want to read too much into this. There's a lot of people jumping on the I hate Aaron Rodgers bandwagon. Okay. It's not that I don't feel you. Okay. That's not it. But we're not throwing him out with one game. You know better. Every time he's down, every time you point the finger, he's going to come back and make you eat your words. I hope that's what he does. I'm saying this performance here and now is absolutely positively awful. It's terrible. Horrible. But we'll wait and see on the rest of it. Hang in there. JR says, "Go Bears." Dwayne says, "Rodgers looked like he had better places to be." Shailene Woodley is a succubus. Now, see, Merlin, you know what? He says it's more on coaching. The O-line sucked and the defense sucked. No open receivers. There wasn't any open receivers because the pressure on Aaron Rodgers and on Jordan Love were both horrendous. Lucas Patrick got his ass whipped today. I mean, bad. Josh Myers, there was 2 plays. Josh Myers, my assumption is going to be that Josh Myers misread what he was supposed to do, because he was blocking down on the nose tackle, or excuse me, on the defensive end, and the nose tackle came just crashing right through twice today. So there was some miscommunication up front. That's to be that we talked about that. We talked about that on Thursday, where I said, look, if I've got some concerns, the concerns of the offensive line, you figured there was going to be some youth and some inexperience there. And the Saints, sure enough, dialed up a few things for them to make them kind of look at things and go, wait a minute. So let's do this. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're going to join the network. And for everybody, I mean, I've never seen the stream this full. We're over, I don't know how many thousands of people it is. This is fantastic. Thanks for watching. Hang in there. Stay here. Stay right here. Start lighting the lines, getting your comments, and I'll try to go through all of them as well. 877-867-1670. More of the Bill Michaels postgame show, the Green and Gold postgame show right after this.
This is the Green and Gold postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
How we looking? How did 44-year-old Tom Brady do his first game?
5 minutes.
He played great. How did he look last year, Dennis? He looked like crap. How did he look the year before that? He looked like crap. The year before that, he looked like crap. For 4 or 5 years, I've said Brady looked like he was washed up, only to come back and make everybody look stupid. Yeah, Lowry and Kingsley Keke both just, what a waste. Hey, Robert. What's the weather like down in Florida, man? How we looking? It was pouring down rain here. But here, take a look at this. We are at Milwaukee Brewing. For all of you on the live stream, you hear it. Look at this. There's nobody. Everybody left.
Michael's will resume in 4 minutes.
I mean, everybody, but the girl down there in the end. And I think she's sleeping on the table. Everybody left. Taylor, you're right. Tom Brady and his group, they put the work in the offseason. They wanted another shot at it. Rodgers, he wanted a musical career and wanted to jump into waterfalls in Hawaii, and it looked like it today. You the man, sweet one. You the man. Look at this. There's nobody here. I can't even zoom in on the girl. She's down there in a mini dress and a pair of Chuck Taylor gym shoes. Did anybody else watch the Aaron Andrews video, the interview? It was, you couldn't, man.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes.
What's that? No. This guy's an idiot. Put it this way. If you need me to make you look better and take shots at me and make yourself look famous, then you're already a loser. You're a fail. You're an epic fail. I just say who, you know? Take a high road. Right. Nah, it's good. It's really good. Yeah. You know what? No, no. You know what? I'm not going to get too into that. But yeah, take the high road. You know, you run around putting out all the fires that people say, all the shit people say about you. Then you look like you got something to hide. You know, who cares? Go about your business, do your work. People will realize what's going on. They always do. People are smarter than you give them credit for. They really are. Right. Yeah. No, they're just pissed off. They're like, yeah, I took the money. I took their money. Yeah. Right. Oh, no, he looked terrible today. Looked terrible. Looked uninspired, whiny, bitchy, the whole thing. Yeah, I know. I get it. Well, he could have. He could have, yeah. Yeah. No.
Michaels will resume in 1 minute.
That, you know what? I have no idea why he threw that ball. That was a crap pass. That was a panic pass. And he got beat up today. But I'll tell you this, the Packers, when they did get pressure on Winston, he just outran them. That was it. Yeah. I mean, you could say, well, their offensive line held up. Yeah, but, you know, Winston was on point. Their guys got open. And this whole thing about Joe Barry's communication and how great it was supposed to be, you know, people are going to be people are going to be pining for Mike Pettin at one point or another. Joe Barry's either going to have a terrific uprising for what he's capable of communicating, or he is going to eat the mud pie of poo. Yes. Okay, I got to run. I got to get back in the air.
Blue 58, go! Green 18! Green 19, touch!
This is the Green and Gold postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Welcome back to the program. And welcome to all of you joining us now on the network as well. What a day. 38-3, the Green Bay Packers, they just got an ass kicking by the New Orleans Saints. The Saints were more prepared. The Saints were better coached. The Saints were better executing. The Saints were faster. The Saints looked more inspired. I don't know how to put it. All the crap about playing at a neutral site and how Aaron Rodgers in humidity and all that kind of stuff and and the Packers fans who had traveled so well, and go Pack go, and all the chants. It's going to be like a home game, and our offensive line is so deep, and Aaron Rodgers looks so sharp, and the receivers, especially with Randall Cobb, are going to be so great and precise, and they run great routes, and it all turned to a giant steaming pant load down there at TIAA Bank Stadium. It was crap. And I know this is going to sound stupid, so prepare yourself. Okay, I know it's going to sound stupid, but this could turn out to be a really good loss. Now, it has to be responded to. Next week, the Packers have to come out and play inspired football. The Packers have to come out and put a throttling on next week. Got to look like everything they looked like in camp, because this team played exactly the way they played in the preseason, and most of those guys that played today didn't play in the preseason. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. We are brought to you by our good friends at Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the Bill Michaels Sports Talk Network and the official beer sponsor of the Green and Gold Postgame Show. Glad to have Bud Light on board this year. As always, thanks to them, we are broadcasting live inside MKE Brewing down here in downtown Milwaukee. And didn't have much of a watch party today, I got to tell you. It started out with a pretty good crowd in here. And they were taking the brewery tours. It was good. Then the rains came. We had some storms that rolled through, and that brought the people that were outside inside. So we had a really good crowd. And as this game went on, they scampered like cockroaches after the light comes on. I mean, gone. It was after Aaron Rodgers threw the second pick, the Saints go down, they score. That was pretty much it. At halftime, people are saying they're not going to win this game. And again, for those that are wondering, Aaron Rodgers' final numbers, 15 of 28, 133 yards, 2 picks, a quarterback rating of 36.8. 36.8. We're going to hear from Matt LaFleur coming up here momentarily. But I want to get your calls in, too. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. I want to get your reaction to this craptastic performance by the Green Bay Packers. They go on the road. They don't have to travel nearly as much as the Saints did. Saints got displaced. They go out to Dallas, where they did say it was a team bonding moment because they had to join. They had to come together because they were completely out of their element. So they go over to Dallas. They're practicing at AT&T Stadium. Then from there, they got to go to Jacksonville, and they've got to play a home game in Jacksonville for fans that are also displaced at this particular point in time. And we thought, Packers are going to go down. It's going to be warm weather. It's going to be fine. Packers fans travel great. It's like a little vacation. Here we go. Go, Pack, go. Packers come out of the tunnel. You can hear it. It's palpable inside TIAA Bank Stadium. And after that, you could have heard the toilets flush. That's how bad this game sucked. Defense was terrible. The Joe Barry communication-led defense, as Matt LaFleur smiled so sheepishly only a few days ago. Yeah, I think they're going to impress. They did. They impressed the hell out of the Saints. The Saints are going over there, tipping their cap, going, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You guys have no blanket idea what the hell you're doing. You're running around and hands are flying and you're just grabbing at people and you don't know what the hell's going on. It was terrible. This was the slap in the face. I mean, hopefully in the front office, Gutekunst was not wearing any kind of a cup to the game today, so he could feel the kick to the groin that this team needed. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Aaron Rodgers doesn't make mistakes inside the red zone. This was Aaron Rodgers so painfully described by one Joe Buck and Troy Aikman as he was going down under pressure and tossed that ill-advised toss. Here it is.
2nd down and 7. Rodgers throws and he's picked. Intercepted by Paulson and Debo. That's a red zone pick for Rodgers, and the Saints take over up 14.
There you go. And the Saints take over up 14. Packers lose, and again, 38-3. Today, when you talk about forcing the ball to Devontae Adams, nay. Do you realize he was not the highest targeted receiver that was out there today? He was targeted 7 times, 5 catches, 56 yards. Marquez Valdes-Scantling was targeted 8 times, 3 catches, 17 yards. He looked terrible. Alan Lazard, 4 targets, 2 catches. Malik Taylor, 3 targets, 2 catches. Aaron Jones, 2 targets, 2 catches. Tanyan, by the way, Aaron Jones, tell me something today. 5 carries, 9 yards. His longest carry of the day was a 3-yard carry, and that was one in which he fell. He fell forward. Okay? Is it me, or did you notice something about Aaron Jones? He looked slower today. That hamstring that's been bothering him, he looked slower today. He didn't have that step. That to me, I mean, I know he's got a leg injury. Okay, so I'm proceeding with caution here before I get it deep into this. But I'm going to say this: a running back, when they lose that little burst, that when they lose that, it's gone. Now, I know, like I said, he's got a leg injury. He's coming back, but man. Nancy says, well, Bill, I feel bad you got sucked into all his drama for this. It's okay. It's what we do. We listen, we break it down, we watch, we learn, we all talk about it together. I don't even, you know what? Here's the thing. I'm leaving right after the show. I'm heading up north. I'm heading up to Tomahawk for the week. We're going to do the Tomahawk Fall Ride. So I got to jump in the RV and drive a 36-foot motorhome plus a 12-foot trailer. I can't even drink today. So I can say we're adults in a brewery talking sports. I can say that. But I can't even see. There we go. That's a brewery. There's 3 brew kettles back there. Look at that. We're sitting right in the middle of a brewery. But I can't even say that because I can't drink today. That's kind of the disappointment of it all. 877-867-1670. The Brewers, like I mentioned, win today. Their magic number continues to decrease, and they're easily in single digits. I think it's 5 now. Ben, is the Brewers' magic number 5 now? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe it is
5 for the Milwaukee. But you know what? The magic number is cool because you can celebrate it. It's a countdown. It's like New Year's Eve, right? It's like, here comes the ball. Oh, my God, we're at a minute. We're at 30. We're at 20. We're at 10. We're at 9, and we're counting it down. But you know New Year's Eve is coming. You know tomorrow's going to be here, right? You know it's a done deal. The first is only seconds away. So the magic number is cool, but we declared this race over in the National League Central a while ago. I know Taylor says it's a sad day when you're in a brewery by yourself and you can't even drink. Doesn't that suck? That sucks too. I agree with you. Ben, is there anything I missed today in the synopsis that the overall package that Matt LaFleur, Brian Gutekunst, and Mark Murphy put on the field today sucked?
You missed the fact that Jordan Love was the one who got that 1 third down conversion.
Yeah, I know. He threw the 30, what was it, the 32-yarder to Randall Cobb. Hit him too. I mean, then again, Randall Cobb was as wide open as you and me, as I am sitting here in a brewery. But yeah, I mean, Jordan Love did toss the 32-yarder.
Bill, my question is, do you think Aaron Rodgers' book club this week will focus on the playbook?
Yeah, I think it's going to focus on healing. I think it's going to focus on being able to look at your own faults. Well, his playbook, though, will look at everybody else's faults. Is it too soon to be that sarcastic? I think it is. I think it is. I think everybody else is reading a book called Look in the Mirror, Better Yourself. And Aaron Rodgers' book club starts with look at everybody else and what they did to you. That's. Yeah.
I'm just having a good time out here with Tom.
Yeah, just Tom worked his ass off in the offseason there, Aaron. You got probably swimmer's ear from jumping into a fall. God, get rid of the man bun. It's terrible. James says the Bucks are still champs. The Brewers might be. We're good, Wisconsin. We got this. James, that's a positive outlook. The unfortunate thing about that, James, and for all of you who complain that we're complaining, is that this is what's called the Green and Gold postgame show. We do break down, we analyze what we just witnessed. And what we just witnessed was a steaming pile with flies all around. And there's no way to sugarcoat it. There's no way to say anything great about it. Who had a good day? Not many. Not many. Well, you could say maybe A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon.
The Packers found a punter.
The Packers have a punter. There you go. Bjorquez, 4 punts, 176 yards. Averaged 44 yards a punt. Had one inside the 20 and a long being almost 60 yards. 59 yards he had today. So there you go. Sean says at least he has a hot wife or fiance. Who are you talking about? Talking about Rodgers? I don't know on the hot factor what Shailene Woodley ranks. Couldn't tell you. If you, again, Aaron Rodgers being very much on the idolizing side of Tom Brady, would you put Shailene Woodley up against Gisele Bündchen? I don't know. I never really looked too closely at either, but from what I saw being tossed out there earlier today, I don't know if I'd go in that direction. Stanley says the defense was so bad you couldn't get off the field again, like always. The defense was a 50-50 proposition, especially when it came to third down. 5 of 10 today, and twice we saw wide open receivers and guys looking at each other like, where are you supposed to be? That's coaching. That's coaching. Now, it's new. I get it. When Dom Capers first installed his defense, it was new. It was tough. When we saw, even Mike Pettin come in. When Mike Pettin came in, his defense was a little bit raw, and everybody was pining for Dom Capers at that point. So give it a little bit of time. Give it a little bit of time. We'll see. But it was just a bad day. I mean, I don't even want to get into this the defensive statistics because they sucked. They were terrible. Here's the Packers. Here's the Packers drive chart today. Packers 7 plays, 13 yards. 7 plays, 13 yards. 7. How do you go 7 plays for 13 yards? That's terrible. And then they punted. 5 plays for 8 yards, which is even worse, and they punted. Then they went on a 6-play, 49-yard drive. Netted 54 yards, 3 first downs, and they kicked a field goal. And you're like, okay, minute 7 before half, maybe grab a little momentum, get the ball back in the first half, or ball back in the second half. We're on our way. Then you're driving. 10 plays, 55 yards. Here you go. Down at the New Orleans 9, and picked off. Picked off! So you get the ball back. You're like, okay, we got this. We can come back. We can do this. 3 plays, 5 yards. Well, no, -2. Again, picked off. Then they turn the ball over on downs. Then 3 plays, 9 yards with a 14-yard penalty. Netted them -5, punted it away. 6 plays, 27 yards, punted it away. 9 plays, 54 yards, and they fumbled it away. That sucks. Meanwhile, the Saints go 9 plays, 49 yards field goal, 15 plays, 76 yards touchdown, 15 plays, 83 yards touchdown, 6 plays, 15 yards, they punted it away. They only had 2 punts today, by the way. Then they go 3 plays, 12 yards touchdown, 4 plays, 11 yards touchdown, 4 plays, 66 yards touchdown, and then the game ends. That's it. I'm not going to get into the defensive statistics. Everything sucked. The only one, Preston Smith had a quarterback hit today. Other than that, Jameis Winston was elusive, could not be sacked. Packers didn't rack up any sacks. They had 3, count them 3 quarterback hurries. 2 of those, by the way, were by Rashawn Gary, who did not play bad today. So if you want to look at a little bit of a bright spot, Rashawn Gary, but he's hit or miss because Rashawn Gary's a bull rush. He's a guy up under the pads, push you, drive you, move you side to side. He's about leverage. So Rashawn Gary, while he did have a couple of quarterback hits or quarterback hurries, wasn't overall great either. 877-867-1670. Bruce, what you got going on, man? Glad to have you.
Well, I'm sitting here at work listening to you. You don't sound optimistic a little bit. But I have a prediction.
What's that?
You ready for this?
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to say, given how bad Aaron Rodgers played today,
yeah,
I'm going to say the Packers are going to be 2-5. They're probably going to win 2 games out of the 5 first games.
2-5 in the first 5. Okay.
Because the way how I'm looking at it,
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers standing on the sidelines, look like he don't want to be there, look like he don't want to play. I'm not gonna go as far as to give up yet, but I got a funny feeling. Okay, you got this new defense. I'm thinking they're gonna go 2-5. 2-5. Yep. 2-5.
2-5. All right, buddy. Let's do this. Appreciate the phone call, Bruce. As always, you the man. I know you're stressing. You the man. Hang in there. You the man. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll take a look at the first 7, 8, 9 games. Okay? And then we'll come back. We are broadcasting from, I feel bad, man. I feel like we owe them. MKE Brewing. Look at this. Look at this. If you're following us on the Bud Light live stream, look at this. Nobody here. Even the one girl left. There's 2 people down there. I don't even know who the hell they are. I think they just staggered in. They came in out of the rain. There's nobody here. I am literally alone in a brewery by myself. Stay tuned. We got more of the Green and Gold postgame show. This sucks. 877-867-1670. Hang in there. More right after this.
This is the Green and Gold postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes.
Alone in a brewery. So all of you right now listening on the Bud Light live stream during the commercial break, okay? I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn this down. Wait a minute. Where am I turning this down from? Where am I turning it down? No, that isn't going to do it. That isn't going to do it either. Check. Okay, I can't do it that way. All right. So here's the deal. Brian, they left. They were watching the game. Packers fans got pissed off and left. Had a good time with the people that were here, but they got pissed off and left. They went home. So let me ask you this. You're alone in a brewery. You got the one girl over there. She's cleaning up. You can see her. What would you do if you were alone in a brewery? Think about that.
Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute.
James says 96 of us. James, maybe that's over on Facebook, but think again. There you go. So, yeah, really. Yeah, see, Sean, that's the idea. But the problem is, see, now you're talking, Brian. you taste the beer.
Yeah, Michael's rules.
Let's do a couple of beer tastes. They've got really good. The Outboard is really good here. They've got an Outboard and a lager. Louis Demise is awesome. They've also got a Louis Demise blueberry beer. Believe it or not, the Louis Demise blueberry beer. Here we go. Yeah, James, you see here on Facebook, there's a lot more people watching on YouTube and on Periscope.
Third down for Green Bay. Aired out down the middle. Pass is picked. Intercepted by Marcus Williams.
Yeah. That's kind of the way it's going, isn't it? Man. Packers get knocked off in ugly fashion. And they dropped the opener to the Saints. And now you've got an extra day to absorb this, my friends, because it's Monday Night Football next week. 7:15 on ESPN. Monday Night Football. And then you've got the Lions. And then you go to Sunday Night Football with the 49ers before you finally get the Packers at a semi-normal hour where they play the Steelers back at home at 3:25. And then they got to go to Cincinnati. Cincinnati, by the way, knocks off in overtime the Vikings. You think the Packers fans are feeling bad today. I was listening to K-Fan Radio this morning, and oh, my God. You would have thought the game was over. They've already crowned a champion in Minnesota. That Cincinnati, apparently the city had blown up. No one was there left to play. And so, therefore, they had already won the game by a score of 84-0. Only to watch that team go down in defeat. How about that? Coming up after the top of the hour, we're going to hear from Aaron Rodgers for sure. And, well, let's do this. Get back to the phone calls real quick. 877-867-1670. Joe's on hold. Joe, how you doing today, man? What's going on?
What's going on, Bill? Thanks for having me on, man.
You bet.
Well, I wanted to call and give a couple opinions about that football game. I think that was a football game that we watched. Bill, that was pathetic, man. That was terrible.
It was awful.
This wasn't even – listen. This is a team that has loads of talent. I don't want to hear, well, they got two rookies on the offensive line. Listen, so do the Chiefs, okay? That happens in the NFL. Rookies are going to start at times. They're going to play at times, okay? Bill, this was just – nothing made sense this game. So it felt like Coach McCarthy was back, calling the plays. It was vanilla. It was like man-up blocking. It was just so bad in so many phases of the game. And I'm going to do this, and I know I'm probably going to get ripped for this a little bit by some, but
go ahead.
Honestly, I kind of put this on Aaron. I do. And listen, I was the guy in the offseason saying, look, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. That's okay. Like, you're one of the greatest ever, but if you don't want to be here that bad, roll with Love. And I'll support Love. I'm a diehard Packer fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, then don't be here. Bill, and again, it could just be an overreaction maybe from a fan, I guess, from my perspective. But you know what, Bill? We should overreact to this game. You want to know why? Because this is a team that was yapping all off season. We are locked in, but nobody can stop us, this and that. And we know that they got talent, right? Mm-hmm. We know that. So, and that the interceptions by Rodgers you don't throw those kinds of passes. You just don't. That first interception, Bill, I said it when I said it out loud. He had enough time to make a couple reads, and then he let it go. There was a little bit of pressure, but not that much. Okay, Royce Newman, he was getting some blame for that. I'm like, no.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers made a couple reads. He had time. Bill, when he let that pass go, the second it left his hand, I go, oh, S-word blank. And I said, he's forcing it to Devontae. And what happened? It got picked. Then the punt that he threw up, the interception, what are you doing? That is a terrible throw. And if I'm in the media, I'm asking Aaron a hard question. I'm asking him, what did you see on those throws?
Oh, absolutely.
Because, Bill, I got to be honest with you. It does feel a little bit like, okay, hold on. Are some of his teammates not rallying behind him maybe? Is he sandbagging this? I think that's just overreaction. But, Bill, what else do you think when you watch something like that? He's smiling on the sidelines. It's not funny, Aaron. Like, we support you, dude. We support this organization. This is entertainment for us. It's our normal fans' escape. Like, Bill, I played in college, right? I didn't play on the NFL level, so I don't have that experience at the NFL level. But I played at a decent enough level in college to know that I understand the grind that goes into it. I get that, right? So this is our escape from that, from our realities, right? For this entertainment. Right. And we expect to be entertained by a product that has the talent to go out there and at least perform. No, that was not even a performance today. Let me ask you this.
Let me ask you this. When it comes to Rodgers, let me ask you this. Does this hit the nail on the head? It seemed like he was a guy who figured he could sit out. He's the MVP. He smiled. He jumped in waterfalls. He was singing. He had music. And then when he came walking back through the door after everybody, and I'm included, wanted to see him come back desperately, he comes rolling back in and said, I didn't know where I was going to play 2 days before camp. And then it seemed like he walked in saying, I have all the answers. You're finally going to listen to me. You need to come to me. And sometimes when you put yourself up on the pedestal, you put yourself so far out of reach that you believe it yourself that you are great and can just flip the switch and be great. And he didn't look great today, and he looked completely baffled.
Agree. Completely agree 100%. Because Bill, I'm with you. Listen, I wanted him back in the worst way. I mean, I kept saying, I would tweet out a couple different tweets like, listen, I want him here for the remainder of his career, but if he doesn't want to be here that bad, okay, we might suck but for a little bit, but we'll roll with love and we'll support love. But no, you're right. I agree with you, Bill. Yeah, that it was, and that's fine. If he wants to get away from the game in the offseason, that's cool. I mean, but you're right. Like, he can flip that switch, and it doesn't work like the NBA. It's not like Michael Jordan in the NBA where you can walk away, then come back, and it doesn't work that way in the NFL. NFL doesn't work that way. And yeah, so I agree with you completely on that. Because not only did he look lost today, the whole team looked lost. But Bill, when Amos gave up that touchdown pass in the end zone,
yep.
Bill, I'm sitting there going, like,
how does that happen to I got to cut you loose because we're at the top of the hour. I got to run. How does that happen to Adrian Amos? I mean, this guy's been around a long time, and he at that point looked confused, which is what told me that this Joe Barry defense, for all that it's been pontificated to us, that the communication, it's great, and all the problems, it's still a work in progress. I'm not jumping off the bridge. Be back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere because you're going to hear Aaron Rodgers next.
Here's you. Take a listen.
Swing and a drive to right and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Daniel Vogelbach. He just hit a walk-off grand slam home run. And he has put the Brewers on the field, every one of them waiting for him at home plate. Wow, what a finish to this one.
There's Duke. And then one more time. Let's do the Cardinals broadcast just to hear it again.
The 1-0 pitch. Vogelbach with a drive into deep rights. It's a grand slam to win it. 6-2, or 6-5 now. And that's the final as Vogelbach wins it with a walk-off grand.
Incredible. That's just.
And that was the feed that I had watching the game. That's why I was chuckling.
Over the Line. Mornings from 6 to 10. The Zone.
ADHD. It's the child who can't pay attention or sit still in school, right? The answer, maybe yes. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, can be complicated and it can last a lifetime. Living with a condition can sometimes be a challenge. It may take years to accept a formal diagnosis, and it's not always easy to find the right treatment plan. Did you know that up to 75% of children and adolescents with ADHD have at least one additional mental health condition that also requires a comprehensive approach to treatment? ADHD guidelines were recently updated to reflect the need to screen for associated disorders. Be sure to talk with your child's doctor about proper screening and visit moretoadhd.com for additional information. That's moretoadhd.com. This message has been brought to you in partnership with ADA, ACO, and CHAD.
Blue 58, go! Green 18, Green 99, touch!
This is the Green and Gold postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
And only one down at TIAA Bank Stadium. Packers lose 38-3. Welcome back. It's the Green and Gold postgame show. I'm Bill Michaels. It is so good to be back on the network with you. It's so good to be breaking down games with you. It's so good to be talking to you after games. And we're going to get back to all your comments. And my God, there's a lot of them, okay? For everybody that's on the Bud Light live stream, we are brought to you by our friends at Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the Bill Michaels Sports Talk Network and the Green and Gold postgame show. Great to have Bud Light along with us. All of you over there, hang in there. All of you on the lines, hang in there. All of you listening throughout the world, because we're on the World Wide Web, right? www. Thanks to all of you listening. Aaron Rodgers, the number one topic of conversation and trending mightily over on Twitter, just spoke to the media. Let's take a listen.
I mean, I'll let him use those words, and I'll use it's just one game. You know, we played bad. I played bad. Offensively, we didn't execute very well. One game, we got 16 to go.
Yeah, I'd say, it's a long season and all that. Can you just bury it and dismiss it? Or
Pete, I don't know if we ever bury and dismiss, even when we'd like to. We'll evaluate the film like we always do and be critical and then move on.
What happened? It's such a good rhythm all summer
in
practice when we saw it every day. I guess I was pretty stunned that this was the way it went for you.
Yeah, when a team's going to play that much two-shell, you got to be able to run the ball. And, we didn't run it that effectively. I think we came in thinking they're going to pressure us a bunch like they did last time. But last time, we had Allen, MVS, and Swerve. And this time, we had some different skill guys, obviously Devontae being back. So they really didn't pressure us a whole lot. There was a lot of two-show. And they kind of held up with their front four, front six.
What happened on the two interceptions?
Yeah, the second one was, we're backed up and had Devontae on a cut split running a high corner. Felt like that was going to hold the safety. We had kind of set up that play for a while, that combination where they're playing kind of a triangle coverage on the two receivers to the strong side. And I just, didn't get my eyes back to the safety. My initial look, I thought was holding him backside. And because Devontae was inside, I figured he was going to hang back there a little bit more. The first one was obviously the play of the game that kind of swung things big time, 17-3. We score there at 17-10. I probably should just thrown it to Jonesy and moved on to third down. Pre-snap, I was thinking about maybe giving Devontae a different route, stepped up in the pocket, took a shot kind of right as I was throwing it. And, wish I would have thrown that one away or just thrown it to Jonesy right away because obviously that changed the game, turned the game.
With all the two-shell that you mentioned today, it didn't look like there was a lot of guys looking downfield. So it was hard to evaluate what the offensive line did.
I thought the line played good. I do. I thought they held up good. I thought Josh did a nice job with variance of cadence that we did. I thought he played well. I'm waiting to see what the film says, but I thought him and Royce did a nice job. Protection overall was really good. I gifted him a sack there on a keeper in the first half. Other than that, I thought the protection was really good.
What are the challenges of playing a game in Florida, especially this time of year when it comes to the Midwest?
Well, I felt like our energy was a little bit low. it's felt a little bit San Diego-ish from a couple years ago. We just kind of needed something to get going, and it was the same type of thing, long drives on their side and us not executing. So, we'd had, 10 plays-ish there. And, it's 17-0, and when we're in a 2-minute mode on our third drive in the first half. So very disjointed possession-wise. We've been in games like that before where we've only had a couple possessions. I think we had one against Minnesota maybe last year, where it's limited possessions in the first half, but I think we scored on all of our possessions, so that one felt obviously a lot better than this did.
What do you make of the fact that the Saints reported to take the Benny based on your track record in Florida and a result like this next back?
I always say there's no coincidences in life, so I don't think I can slough it off as a coincidence. We traveled down here. It was hot, but not as hot as when we played here in, 16? Yeah, 16, 15. 16, yeah. It wasn't as hot as that day. So the heat shouldn't have been an issue for us. We just didn't execute very well.
Any chance that you guys came out a little full of yourselves just with all the high expectations and the good season last year and maybe just took it for granted and show up and you win?
Yeah, I think so, Pete. I think there's probably some of that. We, probably felt like we were going to go up and down the field on whoever they had out there. And that obviously wasn't the case today. I give Dennis Allen a lot of credit. I think I've always thought he was a really good defensive mind, but they had a good plan. It was to, play a lot of two-show and try and slow us down with the front. They did a good job at that.
You said in the past, like we mentioned Chargers games where you did that because guys might have been feeling themselves a little bit, but does it usually happen in the opener? Does that make it harder, easier, and no factor in?
I think easier. We don't, we're coming off a couple of NFC Championship games, and obviously feeling good about the unit that we have on offense. That's what we talk about a lot. So this is a good kick in the where. Hopefully get us going in the right direction, going back home and playing division opponent next week.
How do you take away any positives from today's game?
I don't know if you do. I mean, there's not much you can say other than they beat us. They played way better than us. We played bad. I played bad and uncharacteristic of how we've practiced in training camp, obviously how I played over the years. So this is hopefully an outlier moving forward. We'll find out next week.
Well, the few times that this has happened, when a team is keeping you and your offense off the field, it's
So there you go. That was some of Aaron Rodgers. And I want to back up. We're going to hear more from Aaron Rodgers. But to come out and say, well, we had some kind of low energy, kind of San Diego-ish. Remember that was a couple of years ago they went into San Diego and just they looked terrible. They got their asses kicked, and then they got beat again going to the West Coast. Why in the world with the first regular season game back with fans and your fans all over that stadium, why in the actual F would your energy be low? First game of the season. Oh my God. That's such a horse crap answer. I was glad he said I played bad. He took it upon himself. We don't hear that because you almost wanted to go, what? Excuse me, what? What? Because you wanted to hear it. Aaron Rodgers said I played bad. Okay, there you go. A little progress. Taking some self-responsibility. I'm good with that. But the whole thing about the energy, if the energy was bad, shame the F on you. Shame on you. How in the hell can your energy be bad? It's the opening of the damn season. The starters haven't played, mind you. You haven't even strapped it on and hit anybody yet. And your energy was low? It was San Diego-ish. I can see mid-season, you're up a couple of games in the division, you're going to the West Coast for the first time, maybe a time change, whatever. But it's the first damn game, and it's the first time you've seen fans completely in the stands, albeit a little bit sparse, and your energy's low. Maybe it was your cool, chill off season that kind of set the waves like a ripple on a pond, and you're the big stone in the middle of it that put the chill in the Packers because you just want to be happy, just hanging with Tom. I almost, when I heard that, I wanted to jump up and scream. That's the kind of thing that makes me like dig my fingernails into my own fist as I'm squeezing my fist together. I'm like, how in the hell can you say that? That's embarrassing. Opening day, you know what? Boy, first game of the season. Fans are all throughout the country packing into stadiums. College football's going crazy. People are going nuts, man, just to have these gatherings back. Can't wait to get there. We came out a little bit San Diego-ish, man. Jeez. Then quit.
I'm just having a good time out here with Tom.
Yeah, shut up. That's just garbage. That's a really unsophisticated way of just saying we weren't prepared. We were overconfident. I thought I could flip the switch. Matt LaFleur didn't have a great game plan. Joe Barry didn't communicate crap to us. We're in the same, if not worse, situation we were than when Tom Brady kicked our ass at home. And all I got out of it was an MVP and a bigger ego. That's it. I'm going to bust a blood vessel. I know I am at some point. God. Sometimes you get so tired of the crap excuse. You know what I'd like to hear? This is what I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear, yeah, we got 15 penalties today because we were so amped up and we wanted to bust somebody in the mouth. That's what I'd like to hear. I was going on a triangle too deep and I didn't catch the safety, didn't look him back over, and we were a little bit chill like San Diego. Oh, okay. That's crap. That's crap, Aaron. Even for you, that's crap. I guess those self-help books didn't help MVS a whole lot. He still isn't catching the passes that are thrown to him. And your big move of bringing Randall Cobb back, oh, by the way, he didn't throw to him at all today. It took Jordan Love to hit him open downfield to pick up a first down. You know, a lot of this is not magnified had it not been for the offseason. I appreciate the fact that Rodgers came in and gave his opening dissertation for training camp. He laid it all out. But once you lay it out, you can't just walk away and go, I'm king. I'm king. I'm going to go sit on my pedestal. Let others tell you you're great. You don't need to act it, and you don't need to tell us all that you're great. You don't need to tell us how you need to be consulted, how you have the experience, how you want to be the man. If you're the man, you'll be the man. I don't lay all this at his feet. I lay this at Joe Barry's. I lay this at Matt LaFleur's. I lay this at the offensive line, at youth, some inexperience, some communication, some just pure will, and others just getting your ass kicked. Just getting bowled over and not having the wherewithal to pick yourself up, adjust your cup, put your chin strap on a little tighter, and go kick somebody's ass. You didn't do that. You haven't been an ass-kicking team in a long time. You've been a finesse team, a quick team, a fast team. You've been an intelligent team, a smart team, a downfield team. But sometimes, you are as the king goes. And if the king's mellow and chill and laid back and no big deal, I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to enjoy my season. That's the intensity you bring. Therefore, again, like ripples on a pond, that's what's fed to everybody else, including what should be these just salivating, hungry rookies. And instead, you got an ass kicking. Let's do this. We're going to go ahead and come back, take a quick break, come back. Want to hear more Aaron Rodgers? I want to talk more about this. And Marlon, I know he's talking about the entire team, but where do you think it comes from? Where do you think, Marlon, when you're getting your brains beat in 38-3, and your leader's laughing, hanging out on the sidelines? No big deal. It's just a game. Who do you think they're taking their cue from? Ask yourself that. How about any company we've ever worked for where you're just getting beat and it's terrible? Earnings are terrible. Sales are down. Everything's just awful. And your boss is like, just chill. No big deal. Just a month. Just a quarter. It's okay. Right? Think about that. More of the Green and Gold postgame show next.
This is the Green and Gold postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will
Some real good guys. They are locally owned. They are veteran owned. Take a look. Our friends with Bird Pit Barbecue. Up now lift. Okay, go ahead. I'm fired up. You know what? I'd love a beer. I just can't.
Bill Michaels will resume in
You know what?
2 minutes.
I'll do. Give me a sip here. Give me one of the smaller glasses. Yeah, I'll do a 6 ounce. I'll do a 6. You know what? Alfords are really good. If not, Louis Demise would be really great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sure. Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you.
Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute.
Merlin, what conversation are you talking about? I know Rodgers is competitive. I'm not saying he's bad. I say for this one game, let's see how they respond. I said that at the beginning of the show, and I've said it throughout the show.
Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back. Packers get beat and embarrassed, quite frankly. Packers get drilled 38-3, the final, down at TIAA Bank Stadium. Aaron Rodgers was in the midst of his conversation with the media, and I had to stop it because the anger ready to fall out of me had to fall out. So let's do this. I want to pick up where we left off. Let's take a couple more minutes. Listen to Aaron Rodgers. Hang in there. I'm going to get more of your phone calls and more of your reaction because we've got a lot of people chiming in over on the Bud Light live stream and emails and such as well. Aaron Rodgers still meeting with the media.
This is happening. When a team is keeping you and your offense off the field,
Well, I guess not. Having some technical difficulties. So that's okay. That's okay. Let's do this. We'll get back to what's being said over on the Bud Light live stream. David says RELAX, which I get. I understand that. And let me say this. For as angry as I can be about this, because there's a passion there, I also said this at the beginning of the show. It's an ass kicking. And you look at what you did wrong. You now have something on film that you can grasp onto. And you now have something that you can you can reference when it comes to looking at the film and correcting things. Are the Packers a 38-3 bad team to the Saints? No, they're not. But they needed this to realize that whatever it is they've been doing and whatever it is they're reading and whatever it is they're believing isn't true, because you got to go in each and every week and earn it. So I want to wait and see what they do next week. Now, I understand they've got a horrific, to say the very least, they got a horrific Lions team coming into Lambeau Field for Monday Night Football. And if they lose that game, well, then you and we will feel free to go up and shoot flying objects up there in the Northwoods, because we'll take out frustrations in some way, shape, or form. But I fully believe and expect this team to rebound in a much better facet, and specifically on the offensive side. But there's things that definitely concern me. Go back. Let's see if we got this fixed. Let's go back to Aaron Rodgers.
Some good plays. Big Dog had a nice explosive catch and run. And then, obviously the pick changed the entire game.
Aaron, first team offense didn't play in the preseason. You scored 3 points in this season. Is there a correlation in your mind?
I don't think so. Preseason football is what it is. It's not a lot of real football. It's more to see if guys, when the lights come on, can play. I thought we practiced really good against New York those 2 days, but I don't think that's a correlation. We just played a good team, didn't execute.
Week 9, 2020, Tampa Bay did another football against the Saints. They were beat 38-3. Today, I believe A.J. Dillon had 12 yards, Aaron Jones 6 yards. Did the lack of running game pretty much destabilize the offense from being effective?
Yeah, I think so. Because if you can play a lot of two-shell and stop the run, it's not going to be a lot of guys running open. So we got to go back to the drawing board a little bit and figure out, because this will be, I don't know if everybody's going to do this. Some coordinators like to run their stuff, but this will be, the old blueprint starting the season on the Packers. So hopefully we see it a little bit more, because we'll have it figured out by next week.
Even though everything's very vanilla schematically in the preseason, is there anything from the speed of the game element that gets you ready? Because the Saints did play their guys.
Yeah, it's different ways of doing it. I feel like we've haven't played in preseason in a while and started decently the last couple of years.
And on the 4th and 1 from the 22, were you going to go to 89 before you think you come down?
Yeah, but the play was for him. Yeah, the play was for him.
2 more? Good.
Or no more.
Thank you.
There you go, Aaron Rodgers. 2 things about that. One is you can hear the smile on his face, as if to say it's one game. It is what it is. It's one game. So don't freak out over it. And that's what I'm telling you as well. On the other hand, he also seems to be grappling for answers. Some of the questions are pointed right at him. No, it wasn't the offseason. No, preseason's for guys trying to make the team. No, there's all of the veteran excuses. At this point, can you learn anything? Can you feel anything? Can you gain anything from playing in the preseason? Sure you can. You can figure out some tendencies with some of the younger guys. You could learn the blocking of Josh Myers and Royce Newman. You know, you can look at many different things. So you can learn from the preseason. It's not to say that I'm going to stick Aaron Rodgers and all the starters out there for the preseason. That's not what I'm saying. But I think for teams that put them out there for one series, it's kind of a joke. It's more symbolic than it is anything else. It's go out, get a little lathered up, and come back in. That doesn't do much. So I tend to agree, but I do think that the old way of doing it, you know, your starters play a couple of quarters in the first game, your starters barely play in the second game, and your starters play probably a half in the third game. And you get yourself ready to go. I mean, I really believe that. Now, I know it comes with a giant risk of injury, and that's what money and injury are ultimately what outweigh everything. But you cannot get ready for live football by watching it. Nobody will tell you that. So, you know, again, I don't know if you want to play them a series or 2 or 4, but, you know, in today's day and age, it is what it is, I guess. 877-867-1670. Coming up after the bottom of the hour, let's do this. We're going to break, but when we come back, Matt LaFleur also spoke to the meeting. I'm really interested in hearing what he thought. Because remember, Aaron Rodgers talked about the energy. It was low. It was almost San Diego-ish. Okay? So I'm anxious to hear what Matt LaFleur has to say. And after that, we're going to be joined by Mike Clemens. Mike is on the ground in Jacksonville. It's so good to get Mike back on the network with me. And Mike is down in Jacksonville. If you heard his voice in there asking Aaron Rodgers questions, I'm sure we're going to hear him asking Matt LaFleur. But Mike's on the ground down there, so we're going to hear from Mike as well. Broadcasting live at MKE Brewery. I'm not kidding you. Have you ever been locked in a brewery before and you're all by yourself? This is like pinch me. It's like a dream. Everybody said to hell with it, and they left, so it's just me. So we're going to go ahead and finish things up here over the next couple of segments. You stay right there, though. You know why? Because next is going to be Matt LaFleur right after this.
This is the Green and Gold postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
It's just one game. You know, we played bad. I played bad. Offensively, we didn't execute very well. One game, we got 16 to go.
That's what they have. 16 to go. One full regular season of football yet to play. And the Green Bay Packers, they may need them all because 38-3, it's either going to be a terrific turnaround and you're going to look back at game one and go, you know what? That was an apparition. That was the giant hand of God, of the football God, slapping you in the face and waking you up. Or you're going to say, holy mackerel, was this a long season? They added an extra game to our misery. One of the two. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Let's do this. The head coach of your Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur. Now, we'll hear if he thought there was a lack of energy today, down at TIAA Bank Stadium. Matt LaFleur after the ballgame. Here it is.
Absolutely embarrassed us today, and you can't do that against a well-coached and quality football team. Our guys are going to have to take a long, hard look in the mirror. It starts with myself. Obviously, didn't get these guys ready to play ball, and that's what happens when you go out there and play like that against a good football team. So give the Saints all the credit. They came ready to play, had a great plan, and executed. I mean, just how it happened. I mean, turnovers, penalties, lack of execution, can't get off the grass on defense. I think there was, before that 2-minute drive, we had 12 plays on offense. They're up 17-0. And we go down and you're feeling good getting 3 points to make it a 2-possession game. And then you start out the second half and you move the ball and you get down there and, you know, we have the turnover. So you can't do that. And then it just snowballs. And we obviously didn't get, I don't even know how many stops we had of their offense the entire day. So it was just all around poor performance. That starts with myself. Obviously didn't get these guys ready to play.
Interception. Aaron had pressure up the middle. Was there anything coming down there?
No, I mean, he threw to the right guy. Devontae was open. He threw to the right guy. He got pressure up. I thought it was on the right side. Regardless, they got him off the spot, and he had to make an off-platform, off-balance throw, and sometimes that happens.
You guys are so optimistic going in. based on what you had, how you practiced, are you shocked by his performance? Is that fair to say?
I'd say so. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's very humbling to say the least.
What do you tell the guys after that?
I just said we'll find out what we're all about. We talk about in the face of adversity, staying together, not flinching. That's exactly what we have to do, and we have to get back to work. This isn't going to magically repair itself. The only way that I believe that you bounce back from any defeat, any setback, whether it's in football or it's in life, is you put in the work. And so that's what we got to do.
Any positives from this game?
None that come to mind right now. I mean, the positive is it's a long season in the National Football League, 17-game season. So whether you lose the game 38-3 or 38-37, it's all the same, and you got to bounce back.
Offensively, you guys were so good at situational third down and red zone last year. What do you think was lacking with the execution there today?
Well, you got to start with looking at your plan for what you had for them. So I would say that's where we start, and then how well did we execute the plays, and were there opportunities to be made, within those plays? Obviously, we didn't execute, but I think we're all going to start to look right at the plan first.
And it's easy to make a correlation between resting your starters for most of the preseason and then coming out flat and opener. What's your response to that? Is there anything too much?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, I think you question every decision you make when you put a performance like that out there. We haven't had too many of those. I think offensively a couple years ago, week 1, Chicago was one that comes to mind, but our defense absolutely dominated and we stayed in the ball game. And today, when you get both sides of the ball that are doing that, you get your ass whipped 38-3. So that's just what happened.
And obviously, you're going to have to play without David for a while, but what are you going to do with this offensive line? What can you do?
It felt like until that moment, it felt like the protection was pretty decent. But until you go back and look at it, because, I mean, a lot of times my eyes aren't even focused on the rush. But yeah, it was not good enough. We didn't run the ball. We didn't even really attempt to run the ball enough. So that's my fault.
And on the 4th and 1 from your own 22, was Mercedes supposed to be the option until it seemed like it kind of fell down?
Yeah.
What was your take on the roughing the pass around safety?
You trying to get me in trouble?
Because of what's happened in New Orleans with Louisiana with the storm, did those guys come out with just a little bit more intensity? Did you feel that all in the first half?
Yeah, well, they obviously came out with a lot more intensity than we did. They were the hungrier team, and that's disappointing, especially when you have a team like we feel we have, the leadership. But ultimately, I did a pretty bad job getting these guys ready to play.
Was there anything the past couple of weeks leading up to this that felt off in any way, or was there any warning that something like this was even possible?
No.
Your experience of these games lost kind of beforehand, however, or with the turnovers of the events in the game?
Well, like I said, at halftime, I felt pretty fortunate to only be down 2 scores, and then we were moving the ball, and we had the turnover. So,
blame it on Aaron.
Hindsight's 20/20. You can look at a million different things that went on, and I think those are all justified. Just how we approached the preseason. You feel good going into a game, having the majority of your guys healthy and available, and then you go out there and put a performance like that together. I think it's you're right to question everything that we decided to do.
You had Aaron, he looked so sharp during camp. What do you think happened last night?
Until I go back and look at it, I don't have a ton of answers for you in regards to whether or not we had guys open. I think they had a nice plan. You could tell that they were going to play a lot of 2-man type coverages to take away Tay and some of the other weapons. And I think when you have teams that are going to do that to you, you better be able to run the football. And we didn't even really attempt to run it that much, which is my fault ultimately as the play caller.
We were asked about the rough and the pass penalty, obviously, but just the fact that he was able to play today, how did that come about? When did you realize that he was going to be able to go?
Well, he said he felt good last night. And then we made him work out this morning before the game. And he said he felt good in that. So we decided to let him play.
There were reports that the Saints picked the Florida venue based on some of Aaron Rodgers' past results. How much do you feel the venue would lose any of that?
And I think those are all the great excuses for us that we will not even go near.
2 more, please.
Do you know if Savage or DeGuara is anything serious, their injuries?
I'll have an update for you tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
So there you go. That is, it's kind of like science fiction theater when you sit there as the movie's playing and you kind of hear the comments and the voices and, you had the alien and the rabbit and the kids sitting there and they're all making the different voices as to what actually is being said. And I'm sitting there listening. At least LaFleur was pretty honest, except for when the criticism came to Aaron Rodgers. Oh, and then the turnover. He didn't say, when Aaron threw the ill-advised pass or when he threw that really dumbass pitch thing, whatever that was. I'm not going to do that. No. It still amazes me that you can't just call it what it is. He can't just say, look, it's all on me, the play calling. It's all on me. He talked about that. I appreciate that. But say, hey, look, we stunk from beginning to end. Our offensive line didn't play well. Aaron didn't play well. He knows it. I know it. We can all look at it and call it what it is. He's a big boy. He should be able to swallow that. After all, he's on the pedestal. He's looking down on all of his peasants, right? He should be able to take the criticism. He stunk. It was bad. Got our asses kicked, beginning to end, out-coached, out-played, out-executed. Hell, I'm sure even their water tasted better on the other side of the bench. Now I'm getting pissed again. It's not about throwing Aaron under the bus. It's just about you're honest about things and you don't do it in a pointing way in which you're pointing fingers at one particular guy. You just call it like it is. It's respectable. And if all Aaron ever wanted and all anybody in that locker room ever wanted is honesty, then be honest. Say, look, it just beginning to end, everybody stunk. The turnover from Aaron stunk. That was an ill-advised throw. We had execution problems. We had guys that got beat. We had this. We had that. It is what it is. Royce Newman got put on his ass. Lucas Patrick got put on his ass. He had a couple of nice plays, but we worked Zadarius out. He said he could go. He didn't look great. He looked slow. He looked sluggish. He looked stiff. We all saw that. Okay, these are all things that we need to take into account. We need to be better coaches for it. And we're going to go back and we're going to do a better job. And we're going to get this team ready to play next week. That's it. Period. And
absolutely embarrassed us today.
Yes, I agree. Mike Clemens next, live down at TIAA Bank Stadium to wrap things up here on the Green and Gold Postgame Show. Brought to you by Bud Light.
This is the Green and Gold Postgame Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Start out the second half and you move the ball and you get down there and we have the turnover, so you can't do that, and then it just snowballs, and we obviously didn't get I don't even know how many stops we had of their offense the entire day. So it was just all around poor performance. That starts with myself. Obviously didn't get these guys ready to play.
Yeah, that's Matt LaFleur, and if you look, they only punted twice, and the other time they had the football, the game ended. So how many times did you stop them? Twice. That was about the extent of it. Joining us now from TIAA Bank Stadium down there in Jacksonville, Florida, Mike Clemens, our NFL Sirius Radio Green and Gold reporter. Michael, does it still smell down there? Because I smelled something was wafting into the state of Wisconsin, and I think it was that craptastic performance by the Packers.
Yeah, no, I thought it was maybe seafood from the Atlantic Ocean, but it turned out to be the Packers that were stinking here.
Love it.
So, all right, Bill, something that I started following, because I'm following the press conferences from Dallas every day, what Sean Payton is telling. These reporters that cover the Saints, they're trying to work from New Orleans. Everyone's got these damaged homes or friends or families. And you can hear a little bit of that emotion building with the Saints and wanting to do this, for their loved ones back home, for their fans that, let's just get out of here and drive down to Florida and go see this football game. Not a very good turnout attendance-wise at all today. But I asked Matt LaFleur, did he factor in that emotion that the Saints would have for this game?
Well, they obviously came out with a lot more intensity than we did. They were the hungrier team, and that's disappointing, especially when you have a team like we feel we have, the leadership. But ultimately, I did a pretty bad job getting these guys ready to play.
I would agree with that, because they certainly looked off. I was completely blown away by the San Diego-ish low energy comment of Aaron Rodgers. I'll tell you that.
That, and the other thing too, Bill, about the fact is, the time of possession at the first half. Did you see just how lopsided it was?
Yes.
In favor of the Saints, the amount of plays that they ran, 208 yards that they ran up with offense just at halftime, just dominating the game and keeping the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. And so I said to Rodgers after the game,
when you're standing there in the sidelines and your defense can't get off the field, and, that's the best defense against you is a good offense from the opposition and then moving the chains. Is it hard to get back out there saying, gosh, we've got to make something happen with this drive in order to shift momentum?
Yeah, there might be a little pressing there when you're sitting on the sidelines for so many minutes. But that we had a nice 2-minute drive. They obviously made a big catch there to get us in the field goal range. The first drive, the second half was a good drive. We converted, some good plays. Big Dog had a nice explosive catch and run. And then, obviously the pick changed the entire game.
They kept on running, Bill.
Go ahead, Mike. Yeah.
They kept on running a defense where Rodgers came out with that Shanahan offense where he was doing the triple fakes and then hand off to Aaron Jones. And the Saints were just waiting for him. They weren't going to get sucked in. They weren't going to get in the backfield. They were just going to contain, and they're waiting for the play to come to them. The next thing that I thought that made a big difference was, again, like I say, that energy level. And, Rodgers referred to that game when the Packers lost to the Chargers 26-11, and Phillip Rivers, that was 2 years ago, Matt LaFleur's first year, out in San Diego. Phillip Rivers just kept on chipping away at the middle of the field. And so when I asked Rodgers about the energy of today's game, that's the example he brought up. Listen to this.
Well, I felt like our energy was a little bit low. It's felt a little bit San Diego-ish from a couple years ago.
I couldn't believe that, Mike. I had to stop listening at that point and say it's opening day. Fans are finally back in the stands. Young guys are trying to make a name. Your crowd is with you. It's been taken out of the Superdome. That is the most. I can't even fathom that comment. That pissed me off almost, Mike.
Do you know where the team hotel was last night? Sawgrass, the country club.
Yeah.
One of the nicest spots. And I'll tell you, I was at the team hotel last night for several hours, and it was a vacation. It was very laid back. They didn't look very hungry, did they? So Then the next thing is to talk to Aaron Jones, the running back, and the frustration he must have because it looked like the offensive line had a hat on everybody. It looked like they were doing the play fake, but when he got to the outside, man, they were just waiting for him. They were not going to get faked in. Didn't take till like the third quarter that he was able to cut upfield. And what were they? 0 for 7 for Jordan Love had the first third down conversion in this game.
1 for 10
I
on the
talked to
day.
Aaron Jones. Were those guys? Huh?
1 for 10 on the day.
1 for 10. I asked Aaron Jones, were those guys waiting for you on the outside?
I wasn't able to really watch the DBs as much as I'm going through my play action. I'm kind of looking at the backers to see if they're adding on. If they do, then I have to pick them up. So I'm not really looking downfield as much. So I couldn't tell you. I think they mixed it up and went a little man and a little zone. We were expecting more man.
It sounds like they just didn't, Mike, it almost looked like they just didn't know what they were looking at.
Well, the thing about it is that, you weren't seeing in-game adjustments to be able to deal with it. On the other side of the ball, there's Jameis Winston standing back there in the pocket. Now, you thought that maybe Sean Payton would say, don't stand back there, get the ball out of your hand like we did all those years with Drew Brees. But instead, the Packers weren't coming after him. They were going to kind of go Mr. Trubisky, let him play quarterback, let him throw a pick. And when he didn't find anybody, he used his legs and ran with it. And he kept the ball away from Aaron Rodgers. So we asked Kenny Clark, were you kind of surprised that they let Jameis Winston stand back there in the pocket for that long?
Only thing that really changed is we had plenty of opportunities for the game to be on our side. For the momentum and everything to be on our side early in the game. And I missed the sack. I think we had like 2 third down conversions from scrambles. So it was just I think he held on to the ball more than Drew Brees would have last year. But we got to just capitalize on our opportunities earlier in the game, we just missed our opportunities that we had. They got a couple scrambles for first downs, and that's what kept their drives going on. And then the game kind of got away from us.
And one more point about the Saints defense against the Packers today, playing a two-shell, double teaming on Devontae Adams. So you saw Aaron Rodgers go to Alan Lazard, and yet, he was covered. He was covered. That number 29, Paulson Adebo, is a rookie out of Stanford because, Marshawn Lattimore's got a knee injury. They just brought in Desmond Trufant. They were short at corner. They were putting it together this week. And yet here this rookie not only is covering Lazard, so he's not open, but he comes up with that pick with that bad throw that Rodgers made in the third quarter trying to get the ball to Devontae. Unbelievable performance from everybody on the Saints today.
Yeah, it was a terrific Saints day, and if you're the Packers and the Packers fans, you're scratching your head going, what the hell did we just see? Because it certainly looked like this team was nowhere near ready for a regular season game. Mike, I know they got a longer week this week because of the Monday night game. What do you think this week is going to be like real quick in a 30-second synopsis?
Well, Darnell Savage left the game with a shoulder injury and then was immediately taken out. Josiah DeGoro, the tight end that they like to use, I think he was knocked out. He had a very severe concussion, and Matt LaFleur stood over during a long TV timeout, so concern about those two players. But in the meantime, it's a swift kick in the butt that these guys need to stop reading their press that they're a favorite to maybe go to the Super Bowl this year, and they got to get back to figuring out true emotions and true motivation in order to win football games.
Mike, great stuff. Get home safe. We'll talk to you coming up this week a lot more about this ugly game we witnessed today, okay?
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate
it, pal. There you go. Mike Clemens on the ground down at TIAA Bank Stadium down in Jacksonville, Florida, and then he's going to wing his way home. We're all going to reconvene again tomorrow morning on the Bill Michaels Show and begin to talk about it. Don't forget, you can always follow us on the Wisconsin Sports Zone app. You can just download it on your phone. You can follow me on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Bill_Michaels. Facebook fan page. Plenty of ways to be in touch with the program, and we appreciate everybody chiming in. My God, this was our largest stream ever. So, man, I can't wait for more of these all throughout the regular season. One more time before a crowd of 35,242. The Packers looked awful. It was the New Orleans Saints 38 and the Green Bay Packers 3. They will live to fight another day. Time for us to go. Have a good one. See you.